Let's be real for a second. Is your homework routine actually working, or is it just burning you out? Because we've all been there. Picture this. It's 11 p.m., you're totally exhausted, staring blankly at a textbook and simultaneously fighting this massive urge to grab your glowing smartphone sitting just inches away. You're putting in the hours, sure, but it feels like you're running on a treadmill, right? Exhausting yourself without actually getting anywhere? If that sounds painfully familiar, believe me, you are absolutely not alone. And look, I want to validate exactly what you're feeling here. Excessive homework genuinely causes burnout. When you force your brain to just keep absorbing information way past its natural limits, you don't just magically stop learning. You're actively inducing mental fatigue. You're increasing your anxiety, and you actually reduce your readiness to learn the next day. It's not a lack of willpower on your part, it's just biology. So to fix this, we need to actually train the brain properly.
So welcome to today's explainer, the science of homework, your cognitive playbook. Today, we are officially ditching those old, ineffective study habits. Think of this as your high-performance game plan. We're going to look straight at the science to optimize your cognitive load, make those study sessions incredibly effective, and most importantly, win back your precious personal time.
Here is the playbook we're running today. 1. The science of memory. 2. Meaningful practice over repetition. 3. The cost of task switching. 4. Brain breaks and restoring focus. And 5. Strategies for healthy balance. We're going to dismantle the myths and build an evidence-based routine.
Section 1. The science of memory. How the brain actually learns. Think of your memory like a path in the sand. If you walk it just once, like skimming a chapter right before bed, that faint little mark is easily blown away by the wind. But if you walk that exact same path repeatedly, it deepens, carving out a lasting trace. Learning literally requires that reinforcement to move information from short-term right into long-term memory. And here's a super crucial tip from the science. That consolidation process heavily relies on sleep. So pulling an all-nighter? Yeah, that actually robs your brain of the exact time it needs to make those pathways permanent.
Let's move to Section 2. Meaningful practice over repetition.
This brings us to a foundational playbook tactic, retrieval practice. Basically, this means answering questions or recalling class material entirely from your own memory completely without looking at your textbook or your notes. It sounds super simple, right? But it is incredibly powerful. You're actively training your brain to go fetch information rather than just passively letting it wash over you. Because let's face it, we all kind of fall into the trap of passive rereading, just mindlessly scanning pages and hoping the knowledge somehow sticks. But science points us directly towards spaced learning, which means revisiting material over increasing intervals of time. When you combine active retrieval with spaced repetition, you can actually enhance your memory retention by up to 50% compared to that desperate late-night cramming session. 50%! And get this, the science is crystal clear. More homework is not always better. For middle schoolers, the effectiveness sweet spot is right between 60 and 90 minutes. For high school students, the academic benefits completely plateau around the 2-hour mark. Pushing yourself beyond 2 hours doesn't make you learn more. It literally just spikes your stress and cuts into the sleep your brain desperately needs.
Section 3. The cost of task switching. The hidden enemy.
We all love to think we're amazing multitaskers, but the illusion of multitasking is completely destroyed by the science. When you pause writing an AP essay or some complex math proof to check a text message, your brain basically dumps the context of your homework. When you finally go back to the essay, you have to retrace your steps just to catch up to where you were. This constant jumping back and forth massively extends your total homework time and depletes your mental focus way faster than if you just stayed on task.
Section 4. Brain breaks and restoring focus. Check this out. After about 15 minutes of intensive, highly focused learning, the specific regions of your brain activated for that task actually get physically fatigued. They deplete vital neurotransmitters like dopamine. If you just force yourself to keep focusing, your stress builds up and your efficiency completely tanks. But a brief, well-timed break allows another part of the brain to kick in while the fatigued area rests and restores those neurotransmitters. It's a biological necessity, not a sign of weakness.
So what should you do during that break? Well, surprisingly, science gives us some pretty delicious advice. Research actually shows that consuming a small, energy-rich, sugary snack in the late afternoon can increase your blood glucose levels. This provides a really nice, short-term cognitive boost for sustained attention and memory. And no, studies show this glucose hit doesn't lead to hyperactivity. It just gives your brain the exact fuel it needs to stay locked in.
Section 5. Strategies for healthy balance. The winning execution.
All right, this sequence is your ultimate weapon, the Pomodoro technique. Step 1, pick a single task, meaning we eliminate that task switching enemy altogether. Step 2, focus completely for 25 minutes. Step 3, take a 5-minute brain break to let those dopamine levels restore. And Step 4, just repeat. It's a highly actionable sequence designed to absolutely maximize your productivity without letting you hit that burnout wall.
Now, for the golden rule of the execution phase. Treat your phone and social media as your ultimate reward after finishing the assignment, never during. Delaying gratification by using your phone as a reward at the end is a critical non-cognitive skill. In fact, research, like the famous Stanford marshmallow test, shows that building this kind of self-regulation actually enhances your overall life outcomes, far beyond just getting good grades.
Let's bring the whole shebang together. An ideal afternoon routine looks a bit like this. Whether you start right after school or need a longer break first, the key is just staying consistent. Have a snack at 4. Do your Pomodoro deep focus at 4:30. Have dinner by 6:30, and by 8 p.m., you are completely relaxing. Establishing a consistent routine like this absolutely prevents those dreaded late-night cram sessions that destroy your sleep and wipe out your memory consolidation.
So, I leave you with this final thought and a bit of a challenge. Are you ready to stop just logging hours and start actually training your brain? We've seen the science, right? Quality and efficiency matter infinitely more than the raw quantity of time you spend. I challenge you to try this playbook out tonight. Try retrieval practice, embrace the Pomodoro method, toss the phone in another room, and become the high-performance master of your own study routine. Your brain, and for sure your free time, will thank you. But man, it really begs the question. If we've been doing homework wrong this entire time, what other daily habits is your brain secretly begging you to optimize?